So here we go. We have quite a show today. This is really a very interesting moment in our timeline. And I will just point out to you to start with that we have received new briefings. Those briefings are very amazing. So I'm going to cut to the chase, stop the suspense right off the bat, and say that we heard it years ago and I had forgotten about this. Is there a problem? Okay. I'm very concerned about the way this is working. It's very difficult to get a live stream to work, as it turns out. Anyway, the briefing is that we are going to get 3 days without internet and without telephone. You will be able to call 911. You will be able to call other emergency services. You will not be able to use the internet. It will slow to a crawl, or maybe not even. You might be able to get your email. I don't know if you're going to be able to text people or not. But basically, it's a shutdown of the phone and the internet. And that's for 3 days. We have 4 different sources that are telling us this, and one of those 4 sources has 5 different independent sources that told him this. The timing that we're getting on when this is going to happen is anywhere from today or tomorrow. There's another window that suggests, and this is from a State Department source, the latest one that I just got, that it could be before, the 3 days could be before Good Friday. But during those 3 days, there's going to be the arrest of the bad guys. And so this is a very wonderful thing. I was not going to leak this intel because I felt that it would give the enemy an unfair advantage. Apparently, it doesn't matter if they run. Apparently, there's nowhere for them to go. So this is huge. And I did not think I was going to be able to leak this. I was planning on keeping it quiet. However, there's so many leaks going on. Obviously, what we heard now is we got authorized, an official briefing, to tell you that there's going to be this happening. Now, if you know my background, if you know who I am, David Wilcock, I am a regular on Ancient Aliens and a consulting producer. I've written 2 New York Times best-selling books. And I'm definitely one of the most visible people in the UFO community, the ancient civilizations, consciousness science, all that kind of stuff. And I, as a result of having millions of viewers and a public platform that's extending back to 1995, 25 years, I have gotten in touch with multiple insiders who are, in some cases, very highly connected people who have not spoken to anyone else. Sometimes I'm the only one who they will trust or talk to, and I get the burden or the honor of leaking this kind of information. So I know there's a lot of fear out there. I know this is a very dark time for many people, and I certainly do not want to undermine that for 1 minute. However, if you can follow with me in this talk what I'm going to be telling you, the 3 days are very exciting. If you understand what's going on, we've already made it this far. I've been telling you for 11 years that were from briefings that came from people that were working directly up with the presidential level, okay? We've been telling you for 11 years that you were going to need about 2 weeks to a month of stored food and water in your house, that you wouldn't want to go outside. I didn't know why, okay? We thought we were going to lose power, but we weren't sure. But we definitely knew about the stored food and water. We definitely knew that you'd have to stay in the house. And we also knew that during that time, arrests would be taking place. The Alliance does not want you to be afraid during these 3 days. They want you to be excited because this is not martial law. This is not a takeover. Stay home. Don't be a weekend warrior. Don't go running outside with a gun. Somebody will shoot you if you do that. It's not a good idea. Stay inside and be happy that we're going to get this thing. Because after it's over, we get the truth coming at us from everywhere. Now, if this wasn't enough, another briefing came in independently on Saturday the 28th from Disclosed TV's private newsletter. I got it sent to me. And once again, they say the same thing, showing you how widespread this intel is. Breaking news, U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order authorizing the call-up of up to 1 million reserve military personnel in the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. I read it, and that is true. It doesn't mean he's going to use them all, but he can call them up now. We need 100% of people inside their homes in order to see what the U.S. military will broadcast on all televisions around the world once they turn the lights back on, proverbially speaking, after the 3 days. This will be very painful, but we can no longer have our people divided. Around Sunday or Monday, which again is today, I don't know if it's going to be this fast. It probably will be a little longer based on another briefing we just got, which I'll show you in a minute. The President of the United States will tweet to my American fellow citizens that the storm is upon us, and we received no briefings on when this will be. We will then go, I don't think this is really true, but we will go to full global martial law, and he says the chances are, if you're the president, that you'll be on board your military plane Air Force One when you send 7 presidential messages to all televisions and phones around the world in the emergency broadcast system. From all of your global armed forces through the U.S. Armed Forces, in the U.S. they will shut down all internet media and phones and all television programming for the U.S. military. Only the emergency services will be working. Then they will broadcast 10 days of 3 times 8 hours. So the same shift, 8-hour shifts for 10 days, and you got to watch one of the 3 shifts of video confessions, military courts, and a lot of evidence for the scandals that we listed in our article on the storm, which again is a lot of the same stuff I'm saying. While this is happening, they will eliminate the world government and carry out global arrests with 500,000 criminal charges. And then they have various plans of how this new financial system will be in place. I don't know if those are really going to happen, but there's Gesara and Nessara. They might not happen quite that way, but it is going to be a complete rewiring of planet Earth. Now, I want to be clear. He was saying it could be today or tomorrow. Obviously, I did wait. I wanted to be ready with this show. We have no idea if this is going to happen or when this is going to happen. So don't hate me if nothing happens, but I sure do think it's going to be something. But enough different sources have converged that we had to speak. We did get the authorization to disclose this information, and then yet another source, just today, gave me this briefing. Now, this source is a completely separate individual. So we've got Fulford saying it's going to be a magnetic pulse. We've got Disclosed TV that got very specific information from somewhere. And then we got Corey Good, who's got information from 5 different sources that has been saying this for months, that the big thing we've been hearing for a year, the big thing was going to be in the spring of 2020. And we didn't know exactly what it was going to be, but they told him there would be 3 days of darkness without the internet or without the phone. They turn everything back on, and now you get the truth. Okay, so during those 3 days, the arrests happen, and this is what's happening now. This source is a completely separate friend, and that friend is telling me that we are going to have, he's got a friend in the State Department, he's connected, he's got definitely real connections, and this is exactly what he texted me just today, having no idea what I was about to leak here, so it came in from another source. He said, I heard something about a media shutdown that will take place between April 1st and 10th, when a lot of indictments will be unsealed, ending on Good Friday. I'm hopeful. So there again is a very similar piece of information, except now it's gearing towards Good Friday at the end of the 3 days. And remember, Q said it's going to be biblical, and look at what's happening. So I only came forward once the new briefings revealed that this would be safe. The Alliance has authorized me and certain others getting this information to tell you this so that you don't freak out when we go into the phone lockdown part.